But my show is a good time, and I will not lie to you and say it's anything but. My hot topics, honey, we're going to talk about everything. That's the first segment of the show. It's made up of 3 segments. Hot topics. That's we talk about the celebrities. I'm a staff writer at Life and Style Weekly magazine. I read the Inquirer. I read the Star. I'm a staff writer at Hip Hop Weekly. I love all the magazines. When I wake up in the morning, I go to MediaTakeout.com and TMZ. That's me. And so let's talk about it. The audience are my co-hosts. They come well appointed. Wait until you see my audience.
I've seen 2 of the shows.
Okay.
Right, where you had the chef and Wendy Williams.
Right.
And I was going to ask you about your audience. That there are some members of your audience that seem fairly young, females who are 20s, 30s. What advice can you give them though about having a successful marriage, balancing a successful marriage and a successful career? What can you, what's it's different for everybody.
Yes.
But what's your take on it? How do you do it?
Well, my take on it, and I get asked this by the young girls a lot, and I appreciate that they first of all that they come to me like that. But I say no babies in your 20s. It's okay to date. You can even fall in love. But do not give up your career for a man in your 20s. You can't do it. If he's really worth it, then he'll wait until you get out of grad school. He'll wait until you do your medical internship or whatever it is that you're doing. He will wait. Because when women and men marry, women give up way more than men. We do. And I'll tell you why. Because our schedules are always fuller. These days, a man's got to work, and he's got to work hard. And you all work so hard, especially if you're a black man fighting the man and working. You all work hard. We work hard too, and we are going to college at a faster rate. We are graduating and getting that big money. That money gap between that was where a man makes $1 and a woman only makes 75 cents to that dollar. That money gap is closing. But guess what, girls? We still have to empty the dishwasher or figure out who's going to do it, birth the babies, make the pediatrician appointments, make the dentist appointments. So now there are households where men, pitch in. I don't know that in my household, and I say that lovingly. My guys will leave socks, and I keep a neat house, like Donna Reed in the 50s. I keep a very neat, oh! Well,
I know where you're coming from.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the feminists would hate me for saying this stuff, but I do believe in keeping nice home, and I do believe in keeping my looks together. First for me, but then because it makes my husband happy. My son, when I have moments and I'm able to pick him up at school to drop him off, and I show up like, oh, he loves that. And they have an appreciation for that. And they have an appreciation for me on the weekends, tightening a cabinet with a screwdriver, painting a flower pot because it's just plain pottery. I like to do arts and crafts. I go to Michael's. Yes, we have help at the house, but who do you think hires the help? Who do you think is there to meticulously go over stuff and fire somebody? My husband wouldn't know the plumber if he ran over him in the driveway. Who do you think calls people when stuff happens? Me. While I'm navigating radio, while I'm doing TV, while I'm writing books. And don't get me wrong, because my guys aren't lazy. My son is an excellent student. I've got to check the homework at the end of the day. Sure, my husband does it, but mom first. That's the way it is. That's the way it was back in the olden days, and it hasn't changed. Even though mom now has 5 PhDs and a corner office on Wall Street in a lot of cases.
Right.
And when they're hungry, who gathers dinner? Whether you gather it, cook it, or hire somebody to do it, who's in charge?
Right.
I don't know about your house, but in my house, that's me. And I wouldn't have it any other way. I love multitasking and doing it well and then telling it to people. Guess what I did today? I made a pot roast. I did the radio. I finished my book. Yeah.
Are you one of those, and I asked this question because I saw you talking about bras at Target
Yeah.
for a question they called that
Yeah.
came in. Are you one of those who like to find those bargains when you're out shopping? Because you don't strike me as I gotta have the top of the line bling bling of everything.
I don't.
No, you don't strike me as that.
Why?
If you're talking about you can find some good bras at Target, I mean, come on.
Okay.
But I mean, it's not that you don't like
Yeah.
the finer things, but you're just as comfortable shopping at Target as you would be, at one of the top of the line Gucci's boutiques.
That's very true. I'm just glad that you were able to get that read, because the faster people read that, I don't have much time to make an impression on America. When July 13th comes, boom,
Right.
and I realize that the attention span of our culture is very, very small. I do love bargains. I do love them. I do buy bras at Target, and I find them to be wonderful. I happen to have one on right now, as a matter of fact, and my T-shirt is Massimo from Target. But I happen to have on Chanel Ballet flats, and I got my red bottom shoes over there from Christian Louboutin. But you do high-low stuff, and I am about a bargain, and there, because I've lived through my Negroidian expenditures, unnecessary crap that we really don't need. But we as younger people, and we as black people, a lot of times we tend to get the car with the rims before it's time, and all that other kind of stuff. I've been through all that, the diamonds and everything, and I just find all that to be corny. My most important pieces of jewelry are, I like my studs, and I like my ring because I earned it, because this ring means something. It wasn't my original ring, but it is fabulous, isn't it? I got an upgrade and a little watch.
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily equate to success.
It doesn't define you, and anybody can get, anybody can mortgage their house 5 times and drive a Mercedes or whatever it is. That is not success. You're absolutely right. My definition of success is living life on your own terms and having a great quality of life. And quality of life is different for everybody. For me, money matters, but it's not the end all. And work matters to get the money, but you're not going to work me so that I'm not seeing my son, or I'm too tired to watch Locked Up at 2:00 in the morning while eating a snack with my husband, because that's what we do. You know what I mean? Locked Up. You like that show, Locked Up?
Mm-hmm. I've only seen it once.
I love it. I call those hours the gangsta hours on TV. Anywhere from like 1:00 in the morning to 4:00 in the morning, those are the gangsta hours. That's when all the gangster stuff comes on. So